The European Internet Network brings you the news, sponsored by DHL Worldwide Express, your distribution partners.
Hello, and welcome to Inside China Today. I'm Marguerite Howell, and here are some of the stories we're following for Monday, April 20th. Chinese dissident Wang Dan begins life in exile. Pope John Paul II invites 2 Chinese bishops to attend a Vatican council. And 3 men face the death penalty in China for the murder of a U.S. engineer. Dissident Wang Dan began his 2nd day of life in exile on Monday after being released from prison in China on medical parole. Doctors at the Detroit hospital where Wang was admitted within an hour of his arrival in the United States on Sunday say he is in, quote, stable and good condition. Wang was a prominent leader of the 1989 student protests for democracy centered in Beijing's Tiananmen Square. He was charged with plotting to overthrow the government and had been serving an 11-year jail term at the time of his release. Wang's mother says her son intends to further his studies and that he plans to return to China one day. U.S. National Security Advisor Sandy Berger says that while Beijing's release of Wang Dan validates Washington's policy of engagement on human rights, a fundamental change is still needed in China. He says there is still a long way to go, especially as far as political dissident and freedom of expression are concerned. Wang's release comes just 2 months ahead of a planned visit to China by U.S. President Bill Clinton, and many have criticized the move, saying the rights situation has not really improved. For more on the release of Wang Dan, please see Inside China Today's headlines and our special section on Chinese dissidents. Pope John Paul II has invited 2 Chinese bishops to attend a month-long Vatican synod aimed at looking at the future of the Catholic Church in Asia. In his opening speech to the 250 gathered participants, the Pope concentrated on China, where authorities do not allow worshippers to recognize Rome's authority. He named the 2 Chinese bishops, adding that he hopes they will be able to attend. Pope John Paul regularly appeals to Beijing to legalize China's underground Catholic Church and allow its members to worship. A former Hong Kong investment banker has been extradited from Britain to the Chinese-ruled territory in order to face trial on charges of bribery. Hong Kong's Independent Commission Against Corruption says it will charge 60-year-old Owen Launder in connection with accepting more than $5.13 million in bribes. He is accused of taking the money in return for granting loans between October of 1980 and June of 1982. Before his escape to Britain, Launder had argued he may face the death penalty for his crimes in communist-ruled Hong Kong. 3 men have been sentenced to death for the murder last month of a U.S. engineer. The China News Service reported that a court in China's southern Guangdong province found the 3 men guilty of premeditated murder in the March 23rd slaying of Leonard Phillips. The 3 men have admitted to the killing, but 2 of them have appealed the verdict. Phillips was employed at the Duracell battery factory in Dongguan City. And now for a look at the weather for Tuesday. Skies over Beijing will be partly cloudy. Daytime highs will reach the upper 70s, with overnight lows around 60. Expect showers and thunderstorms in Shanghai. Highs will reach the upper 60s, with overnight lows in the high 50s. There's a chance of thunderstorms in Hong Kong and Taipei. Daytime highs in Hong Kong will reach around 80, with overnight lows in the mid-70s. Daytime highs in Taipei will reach around 80, with overnight lows around 70. And that's Inside China Today. For the European Internet Network, this is Marguerite Howell.
Today's news was brought to you by DHL Worldwide Express.